Hey guys, Jake's doing some technical stuff. I don't know what he did. All right, we're back. And who's here? Dee Dee and Jeff Kane. What's happening? We're a few minutes late. I apologize. 5 minutes late, 4 minutes late. We are just on the other side of Knoxville. Jake and I stopped last night. I don't know what time, and we just crashed for a little bit in a rest stop. So we roughing it. We slept in the car. So we figured we'd go live again and let you guys kill some time with me. So that's what we're doing. I ended up in Tennessee. That I'm following Apple Maps. So this is it's taking me a different route than the way I did, the way I went before going this way. So I'm just going with the flow of what Siri tells me, but I'm actually just on the west side of Chattanooga right now. Not Chattanooga, Knoxville. And I'm getting ready to get on Interstate 75 to go south towards Chattanooga. So that's the way we're going. I don't think I'm going to come back this way because I want to go through Auburn, not New York. I want to go through Auburn, Alabama, and stop there. Me and Jake are going to go to Toomer's Corner in Auburn. Jeff's ready. Yep. I'm working now, Jeff. I'm going to write this off on taxes. So when I go down south, I'm going to collect some fish, or try to, maybe. And I'm going to go to at least one local fish store down there and see if they'll let me do a quick, YouTube video on the store. I have no idea what stores are down there, so I'll just have to search on Google. But anyways, I've never been this way before, so it's something different. I'm in the Smoky Mountain area of Tennessee. Oh, Jake and I went to a Buc-ee's. Never been to a Buc-ee's before. The friggin' place is huge. Humongous. So if you guys ever have a chance to go to a Buc-ee's, it was pretty cool. And the gas was cheap too. Friggin' gas at the Buc-ee's was only $2.46. That was pretty cheap. At least cheap compared to where my neighborhood's at. What's up, fishfam.link? So yeah. What was that gas station that Jeff told us to go to when we were in Wisconsin? Do you remember the name of it? No. Well, anyways, that place in Wisconsin ain't got nothing on the Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's had everything. They had like smoked brisket and everything. All kinds of stuff. Big gift store. Like you're going into like actually like a friggin' department store. It was like going into like a redneck fucking clothing store. picked Elijah up a souvenir Buc-ee's hat. That's what he wanted. So we got him a Buc-ee's hat and a bottle of Buc-ee's barbecue sauce. That's going to be his souvenir from the trip down south. We on 75 now, right? Yeah. Okay. Cross this joker. So according to that sign over there, we are 87 miles north of Chattanooga. And I think just south of Chattanooga, I got to get on another interstate somewhere. I forget. I looked at the map, but I don't remember. Stop by and see Ed. He's from the Chattanooga area. So yeah, we're gonna visit Tennessee Mafia. I should have brought that shirt. Ed gave me that shirt in Tennessee. I didn't bring it. According to the GPS, we are still 7 hours out from our final destination, from the town I'm going to. So 6 hours and 54 minutes. So we still got a full day of driving.
Jeff asked, why did you decide to take this trip so close to Christmas?
Because we're going to see family at Christmas. I haven't seen my sister. Well, I've seen her, but I haven't been back to Alabama in over 10 years. So just driving down there to surprise them. I haven't seen my nephew in over 10 years, or my aunt. My sister I have, because her and my brother-in-law, they're Teamsters and they work on the road a lot for different companies because they're union. I hate unions, but it is what it is. But they're Teamsters that work for all that for the fracking and then the oil. They pumping that shit all over where they were until Biden got in. But they pump that stuff via pipeline all over the United States. And they got construction companies that are putting in pipeline all over the United States. So they work. My brother-in-law's been doing that for over 20 years. And then my sister started working with him probably 15 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. So sometimes when they're a little bit further north, we'll see them, but I don't see them too often. So like the last time I saw my sister, her and my brother-in-law visited. They were doing something in Pennsylvania. So I met them just for the day. They drove and we met them in Cooperstown, New York for like a day, but that was a while ago. Oh, and then another time they were doing something in Pennsylvania or West Virginia around the same time the National Chicken Wing Festival is in Buffalo. So then they had the weekend off because it's always Labor Day weekend. And then they drove to Buffalo and hung out with us for the weekend at the festival and whatnot. So, but I haven't been back home down here in over 10 years. So the last time I was down there is when my nephew got married. So it's been a while. And he got 2 daughters, and the last time I saw his oldest daughter, she was just a little baby, and now she's, obviously she's like 10 years old now, so it's been a while.
Elishan asked, have a nice sleep in the car.
Actually, it sucked, but it wasn't terrible, Tom. It got a little cold, but it wasn't terrible. Jake jumped in the back seat and fucking laid back there. And we're not no giant people, so he's taller than me, so it would suck for you, Alishan. You a big giant. You wouldn't fit in this car too good. So it wasn't terrible. So we just stayed at a rest stop. All the rest stops here are posted 2 hour. You're not supposed to park longer than 2 hours, but I just ignored that. And state police troopers didn't say anything, so I don't care. I just put a blanket over my head, took a nap. Crossing, that's a big river. Crossing the Tennessee River right now. It's a pretty good sized river.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Oh, sorry, I was watching the video. Alishan said I can fall asleep anywhere, just ask Tico Grant.
Oh, I can't. If the car's moving, I mean, obviously I'm driving, but if someone else is driving, I have a hard time trying to fall asleep. So I either got to drive or I'll stay up and keep the driver company. But driving this one myself. This ain't the longest road trip I ever did, but it's the second longest. The longest road trip I ever made was from California to Alabama. That was a long road trip. The good thing about going this route is I avoid Atlanta. But I do have to drive through Birmingham and Bessemer. I never drove through Birmingham before, but I know it's a pretty nasty city. So Birmingham, Bessemer, Alabama, has per capita, it's like the highest crime rates, one of the highest crime rates in the South. So it's not a good trophy to have. Hopefully I don't hit no traffic jams. That one last night was fucking shitty. Beyond shitty. Could have got a lot further if it wasn't for that one.
Rob said, on the road. Can't wait to get on the road again. Alishan said, how much is gas now?
Oh, Alishan, right? Jake and I stopped at a Buc-ee's just not too long before we went live. That's some cool shit. Buc-ee's is cool. So you guys come down south, you got to stop at a Buc-ee's. But the gas at the Buc-ee's was $2.46 or $2.49,
something like that.
It was less than $2.50. So right around $2.50 at the Buc-ee's in whatever town that was in Tennessee. We were just on the west side of Knoxville, or the northwest side of Knoxville is where we stopped at a Buc-ee's. So we picked up Elijah a Buc-ee's hat and a bottle of Buc-ee's barbecue sauce. That's gonna be his souvenir from our road trip. We bought him gifts at the Buc-ee's. So yeah, it's the fuel price is. I don't know what it is around you, Alisham, but up in Pennsylvania when I was coming down, like Chambersburg, and then Clark Summit. I think Clark Summit I filled up when we stopped at the Waffle House. Clark Summit, PA was like right at 360. Chambersburg was 340, 350, something like that. And then now I'm in Tennessee and it was 2. I forget what it was in Virginia. I got gas somewhere in Virginia. But Virginia was less than $3. And then Tennessee was a little bit less than Virginia.
Alshin said it's about $2.95 around here, and then Rob said it's down at $2.94.
Yeah, so the Buc-ee's around Knoxville was $2.50. So see, it might get. Well, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Say it's probably going to be pretty cheap in Alabama. Alabama is like less expensive than a lot of other states and stuff like that. Tobacco, fuel. The only thing that sucks about Alabama with taxes is Alabama, unless they changed it, but I don't think they have. Alabama, when you go to the grocery store, Alabama taxes everything. So you buy a loaf of bread, you still pay tax on it. So when I used to live down here and we used to do like a if you're buying 1 gallon of milk or a loaf of bread, you really don't care. But if you're gonna buy like a lot of groceries, I used to drive over to Pensacola. If it was a planned big grocery shopping day, I used to drive to Pensacola just because it's not that far, and I didn't pay tax on all that shit, so you'd save money. So it was worth it. Same thing.
Alshin said going to Connecticut tomorrow to the sister-in-law's house, about 3.5 hour one-way trip.
That's not too bad. I mean, that's not right down the road, but it's not 1,300 miles. I'm going to. But that's a little bit further. But when I go to that club out in Massachusetts, South Coast Tropical Fish Society, that takes me about 3 hours 20 minutes to get to, depending on traffic. So I go to that club. When I come down to Bucks County, Tom, that's 3.5 hours, I'm guessing. Maybe a little less. I don't know. I forget. I'm going to Danbury. Danbury kicks off the Northeast auction season. January 14th, I think, is the first club auction for the clubs in the NEC. So that's the 14th of January. And that is a little over 2 hours, so that's not too bad for me. And that's actually the Danbury Area Aquarium Society meets and has their auction actually in New York, in Carmel, New York, which is just across the state line from Connecticut. Some dumb stuff.
Yeah. DJ Khaled's son at school won Student of the Month, and while they were congratulating him and stuff, like he got up out of his chair in the audience and walked up to his son to give him like a hug. And one of the comments on the video said DJ Khaled almost took the chair with him when he went to go stand up.
Oh, because he got a big fat butt.
Yeah, and you can actually see the chair kind of stick to him.
That'd have been funny if it's. What's that saying that he says to him?
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one. Allison said, I guess PVAS will have their usual February auction.
Yeah, probably. Nika has Norwalk is, I think, the first Sunday in February, and then Pioneer Valley is after that, I think. And Nika, Mike McKinney posted New England Cycle Association will have one in April, but he don't have the details yet. So I'll definitely be going to the Nika one. Pioneer Valley probably. Norwalk, I'll definitely go to Norwalk. I'm actually a member of Norwalk, so I go out there and hang out with those guys. And Norwalk's cool. The last couple events, they let me set up a small vendor table, so which is cool. I don't sell a ton, but I usually sell enough to cover fuel expenses to and from. So that's a good thing. So dirt truck going slow. But
Allison said no date yet for the BCAS.
as soon as you find out, let me know so I could put it on my schedule. I'll definitely try to make it. Hopefully it don't conflict with anything else, but if your event conflicts with like another one that I have going, if yours conflicts with like another club's event, I will pick your club usually over the other club. So let's see. That's cheap there. That hotel, I would have paid that to stay there. I think it was $40, wasn't it? In the site?
I was looking at the
Might get bed bugs.
probably.
What is it?
We try to avoid conflicts, whether general meetings or auction/swaps.
Yeah, most clubs do. I think they do. That's why it's always best to get your date on the board first. Makes it easier, I think. So let the other clubs worry about conflicting with you. So yeah. So the first one is Danbury. That's the January 14th, and then the Saturday following, January 20th, South Coast Tropical Fish Society is having a swap, but they're having a multi-club swap. So all members of the NEC were invited, I think, but obviously the logistics of getting there is not conducive for all clubs to get to because it's way out in Eastern Mass, like way out. So it's actually not too far from Providence, Rhode Island. It's in Massachusetts, but to get there, you got to drive through Rhode Island. But what they did is, like, I know Pioneer Valley, that the clubs that went, each club got like 5 tables. So Pioneer Valley has like 5 tables, so all their members can bring stuff. South Coast has like 5 tables. The Rhode Island Club has like 5 tables. I think that's how they set it up. So all their members could bring stuff to their respective clubs and sell it. There's going to be a few individual vendors. KJE is one. And I don't know who else is going to be there. There's some dude that sells guppies called Chris's Fish. He sells guppies. I think he'll be there. I don't know who else.
Alishan said the Nature Center does not want us to have it during their wildflower sale last weekend in April / first weekend in May.
I got you. But you kind of, with your setup with them, you kind of got to follow their lead, since they, let you guys use the facility. So I understand that. So. To find a place and to find a place reasonable now to even hold auctions or swaps or friggin' even a meeting it's got to be a pain in the butt. And to find one like that's reasonable. So your guys' partnership is actually really good. Because I looked around. I mean, I didn't look like super hard, but I called several places around the capital region of New York, trying to see if I can get a place that was feasible to hold the swap in the capital region, because we don't have shit. We got like nothing. Mike Lucas organized one for the upstate New York Killifish Association in Schenectady. I went twice. The first one we did, the turnout was really good. The second one, it kind of blew. I mean, it was okay, since it was only like 10 minutes down the road, but we didn't. But Schenectady is not like a destination that, in my opinion, you really want to go to. So I was looking more. Not that Albany's much better, but Albany, I think you would draw more if it was closer into Albany. So I was checking that area, Albany Colony area, and every place was either too small or too friggin' expensive.
Alishan said we don't have to pay for that day, so no reason to move it. And Didi says how.
Hey, Didi. Yeah, no, I totally understand, Alishan. I wouldn't move it either. I would just, like what you guys do now, is find the date that works best for both parties. If they donate the facility, man, I would just leave it be. I know with Nika, we used to have it, the facility, like the size of the facility, we used to have it it's still in Windsor, Connecticut, but Nika, initially we used like this Polish community center, but it was pretty junky, and but it was big. But you had to walk upstairs, and the place is old. And so Nika decided to move it to a VFW, not, down the street. So they try to keep it in the same area. So the VFW it's nicer, easier, more accessible, but a lot smaller. That Polish Community Center, they were worried, and I totally understand it. We got a lot of older members, and that bring a lot of fish, and you had to walk up these stairs that weren't that great. Some of these people bring some heavy ass boxes of water, and they were worried that eventually somebody was going to bust their ass, and so just for safety reasons they moved it. But the facility was big, and they said it was cheap, but it's cheap for a reason, because it's junky.
Dee asked what state are you in?
Dee, we are in Tennessee. Apple Maps took me a different route than the way I went when I used my Rand McNally. So it didn't take me through the way I went before. I went through North Carolina and then South Carolina and then cut through Georgia. This here, it took me over to the top of Georgia. So I'm in between Knoxville and Chattanooga right now, heading south on Interstate 75. So I think once I get through Chattanooga, I will get on Interstate 65, something like that. Somewhere around there, I don't remember. So yeah, right now I'm traveling south on Interstate 75. So I won't have to go through Atlanta, which is a good thing. But I do have to go through, well, I had to go through Knoxville. That wasn't that bad. Knoxville's pretty big. I've never been through there before. It's a pretty big city. I have no idea how big Chattanooga is. Never been there either. But we'll see. And I do have to go through Birmingham, and I know Birmingham's pretty big and pretty nasty. So as long as I don't have to take no local roads, I'll be all right. I just stay on the interstate and not go through the nastiness.
Dee said looks like traffic's good.
Oh yeah, right now traffic is nothing. We hit that traffic jam last night south of Roanoke, which was pretty nasty. And actually going through Virginia last night, it was pretty busy. Even like Knoxville was a big city, but the traffic was pretty smooth. Everything was good. So I don't know if you were here before, Dee, if you heard me say that Jake and I stopped at Buc-ee's. That was a cool destination. We stopped at Buc-ee's just outside of Knoxville. Or a Buc-ee's. Apparently, their Buc-ee's are all over the South. So, if you guys never been to one, you got to go. There's a town, Decatur, where that guy said he was born. Not that, but that's where you could take a local highway to go to Decatur, Alabama. What did it say?
Cool. No. Oh, just got in here. No, I just got in here.
Oh, I thought I seen your name earlier. I thought I did. I think I gotta stop soon somewhere and refill on some coffee. I gotta let some coffee out and then get a refill. I'm facing a guy whose name is Captain Wetpants.
Captain what?
Captain Wetpants. I don't know what game you play.
Flash.
We're only 26 miles from Cleveland, look.
Sheesh.
I'm joking. It's not the same one.
Yeah. I figured we were not that close.
Yeah. What she said. It's like,
I think they filmed in Heat of the Night.
I don't know. This was, I'm not going so
what did it say?
I did.
I just said I don't know. pronounce it. I don't know.
This is something.
Moad commented on the thumbnail on Hour or something.
Oh, you liked our thumbnail, huh? That was a selfie Jake and I took as soon as we crossed into the below the Mason-Dixon line. So Jake and I took a selfie. That's what happens. That's what happens when you live below the Mason-Dixon line. That's what we turned into. So yep. What did I say?
Thumbnail is spot on. I recognized Will.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's me without makeup. Jake without makeup. So that's all natural.
That's us with makeup. We talk.
No way. Yeah. We gotta put our makeup on when we go above the Mason-Dixon. And below the Mason-Dixon, we just go natural.
Just free balling.
Yeah. Jake said we free balling. Yeah, the traffic right now is pretty good. Not too bad. Speed limit 70, that's what I'm doing. I don't go much faster. I don't drive too crazy.
To the pieces. Good morning.
What's happening, Jenna?
You're in between meetings.
We are between Knoxville and Chattanooga right now, Jenna. I've just been following what Siri tells me to do, and Apple Maps has taken me a different route than the route that I took years ago. So that's how I ended up in Tennessee.
For 139 miles, continue.
Is it further? I have no idea. But I know I don't have to drive through Atlanta, which is good. Atlanta's a crappy place to drive in. We're gonna wave when we go through Chattanooga. We're gonna wave at Ed. So Jake gonna roll down the window and yell at him. Hey Ed.
Literally just came up and I just took the screen. Relax. Alishan said, "What time did you start driving this AM?"
This morning we kind of slept in a little bit. I don't know. It was before 7. 6. It was before 7, between 6 and 7. We started the car up. So did sleep in a little bit. Tried to. I didn't sleep too good. I slept some last night, but I woke up a lot. It's just I do that too. If I stay at a hotel or motel, I never sleep good either. So it's not my own bed, and ain't got my cat with me. It's not the same.
Dee said maybe Ed can make you brunch.
Yeah, he probably would. He probably would. Ed's a nice guy. Looking at this sign I'm driving by right now, you guys probably can't read it, but we're 48 miles north of Chattanooga. It's pretty through here. This kind of reminds me of like driving through the Adirondacks through this section right here, because this is what the Adirondacks be looking like. If you ever go to like upstate New York and you get up like Queensbury, Saratoga north, it starts looking like this all the way up to Lake Placid, Montreal, all that. This is what it looks like, but obviously we in Tennessee, not upstate.
Didi said, I was stoked last night on Ed's stream. I won a $50 gift certificate to Tigo Blue Scripts.
Oh, the Garden of Eden. That's nice. Didi's a shrimp head. So, pretty cool. Congratulations. And I know you'll put that to good use. There was a speed check. He just pulled out and he's after somebody.
Yup, already daydreaming.
Already what?
Daydreaming. That's what
Where's this shit clustering up, man? You're clustering up over here. Traffic is flowing, and everybody starts getting butt to nut. Butt to nut. Yeah, Grant got some nice shrimpers. I seen them at the Clash, the ones he brought, and I'm sure that wasn't everything he has.
Alshon said wait until the state he sees the New York State license plate.
What's that?
Wait until the state he sees the New York State license plate.
You gotta say talk louder.
Wait until the state he sees the New York State license plate.
Okay.
I can't even reach it.
Put your glasses on.
Is the power of my glasses gonna help with the glare?
You're a
I
glare.
didn't bring my glasses. Oh, you can tell Keith is former military. Tony uses thrown phrases too. What to nut?
Yeah. Butt to nut, nut to butt. Scuttlebutt.
Texting like I don't care. It's the morning. Queen breakfast.
What you complaining about?
my group chat wants to like go off at like the most random times and just bursts of like
They're a bunch
60,000.
of idiots.
I know they are.
But you one of them.
Yeah, I know. So what I'm hearing is that my son will not stop mumbling when he gets older. No, he's deaf. He just get older. That's it. You just lose hearing.
Who was that?
Jenna.
She's talking about you. Yeah,
I know.
you're a mumble butt.
I speak at a normal like tone.
Well,
That's the inside voice I was taught in elementary school. And
folks, I can hear, but I don't hear well all the time. That's just a fact. And then this guy don't realize it sometimes, and then he gets mad if I tell him to repeat himself. So it's just a dummy, knucklehead.
only listens to farts and boogers.
Who said that?
No, I did. I'm just kidding. That's what you listen to.
Farts, boogers, and boobies. That's what makes me laugh. Oh, I'm 12 years old forever. Seeing some fog. Some foggy fogs. Get a little hazy looking.
Didi said, lol, it's funny. If Jake makes a wisecrack under his breath, Keith would probably hear that.
A lot of times I do.
Yeah, you know, I've made wisecracks before and he's heard it. And I'm like, there's no way he hears that, but when I speak to him clearly, he doesn't hear it.
Yeah. Shit happens with my wife too. She'll tell me something, but I think I got selective hearing. Sometimes I don't want to hear stuff. But if she makes some smart ass remark to me, I'll hear that shit all the way across the house.
Aquatic Playground says, hello, KGE Aquatics.
What's happening, Aquatic Playground? Thanks for popping in.
Allison said, whole lot of nothing on that road.
It's a whole lot of nothing except pine trees. A lot of pine trees. But that's all right. The traffic's moving. It's moving smoothly. And I don't mind, like, no towns or cities. I don't mind that. It's like this going through most of Alabama too. There's a bunch of big stretches of nothing. And most of the towns and city, most of them in Alabama are not that big. It's not like, yeah, they're not that big. Like in Alabama, the biggest cities are Birmingham, Mobile, and Montgomery. It's probably in that order. That's probably the biggest cities.
Allison said, you are the traffic. Didi says, that's perfect traveling unless you are in a horror flick.
Oh, yeah. The first time I drove to the south is when I left California. I took Interstate 40 to Oklahoma, and then I stayed a week in Oklahoma with some Navy buddies. And we stayed there and drank a lot of beer and had a good time going to the honky tonks. And then I left Oklahoma, and then I drove to Alabama. So I stayed on Interstate 40 till I got all the way to Meridian, Mississippi. And then this was like way before MapQuest, so I'm still using like a real map. And I seen there was a highway. I think it's Highway 43, so it's like a state local small highway, but it ended up being just a 2-lane like kind of local road. But it cut from Meridian, Mississippi straight to Mobile. So I said, I'm gonna take that road because it's a straight shot. That was a scary ass ride. because it was at nighttime. The road was crappy. Like, if any of you guys ever drove through Mississippi, you'll know what like bad road maintenance is. I think Mississippi's the worst. So I know some of you guys that are Alishan, you live in Pennsylvania now, and I've heard other people complain about Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania, in my opinion, didn't have nothing on Mississippi as far as road maintenance. But yeah, and then I had to stop and get gas somewhere in Mississippi, and it was late, and there wasn't that many gas stations because it's pretty desolate where I was at. But I stopped, and it like fit the stereotype of the South. It was like these old gas pumps, like the old school ones, and then just like two out in front of this little store. And there was this old dude sitting on a chair in front of the store. It's like country as fuck. So I'm filling up. I had a little Mazda B2000 truck with California plates on it, and I'm pumping gas in my, because that's before you didn't have to prepay. You could just pump it and then go inside and pay. But I'm pumping fuel in my truck, and this dude gets up off his chair and he comes walking around me, and I say, "He country as fuck." And he started talking to me, and he had that fucking Boomhauer accent. And I heard, yeah. I didn't understand him very well, and I was freaking scared. I was like, "Yeah, I seen the movie Deliverance," and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Didi said, "Good old honey tongue, Tennessee."
Oh yeah.
Alishan said, "Furthest south that I've driven is Southport, North Carolina, close to Wilmington."
North Carolina's not too bad. Virginia's south. That's south, but that's not. To me, Virginia ain't the real south. And North Carolina's, it's not too bad. But you get into parts of Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi. You'll see some like country as fuck ass people. There's places in Alabama that made me nervous. I mean, where I worked before, when I lived down here, I did steel fabrication, industrial pump repair, and stuff like that. But every now and then, I had a friend of mine that did like road calls, road service, and sometimes he needed the extra hand, and I would go with him. And a couple of the places we'd go to, is like this. Says I live in Alabama, but this is a different state. It's kind of really country.
The McQuarrie stopped by and said, "Hey, bros,
What's happening,
still on
Fathom?"
the road?" Damn.
Yeah, no, we stopped Fathom just like northwest of Knoxville last night. Took a nap, and then we're on the road again. So it's a long drive, bro. It's a long drive. We still got, according to them, looking at the GPS right now, it's 438 miles. So this is not a day trip. So it's definitely a long ass road trip. And I knew it was. The first time I drove this, I drove it in 2.5 days, basically. But I left like late afternoon the first time I drove it. It stopped on the other side of Atlanta, and then drove to like Chambersburg, PA, and then from Chambersburg, PA to where I live at, Scotia, New York. So, but you could do this if you got two drivers. You could do this in 24 hours, no problem. If you got two drivers that like don't mind driving for long stretches, but that's not me. Last night was probably the longest stretch I drove in friggin' 30 years. We drove. How long were we on the road for? 9 hours.
Something like 10 hours.
Yeah, including our pit stops. Yeah, we were on the road for like 10 hours yesterday. So,
Including pit stops, it was like 11.
okay, my navigator said 11, including pit stops. So, yep. So we were fine with our DOT regulations, even though. Missing some stuff, I think.
Fathom said I was stationed at Fort Campbell and went to Fort Knox several times for training. Those roads get pretty empty out there.
Okay. My time in the military was actually, I was forward deployed, and I stayed over there my whole time. I was deployed on the Midway, USS Midway CV-41 aircraft carrier, and our home port was Yokosuka, Japan. So I stayed. I could have changed duty stations, but I said duty. Yeah, I could have changed duty stations after 2 years being stationed one spot, but I just extended my duty. I said duty again, and just stayed at the same command. They actually give you incentive if there's some incentives if you, especially being forward deployed, because a lot of people don't want to be forward deployed. I didn't give a shit. But there was some incentives if you stayed at your command, because it's cheaper on the government if they don't, because you're already trained at your command. You know your equipment that you're working with. You know the area, so they don't have to train anybody new. So I don't remember what we either had you got an extra 30 days paid leave a year, not a year, like a one-time deal. So you got an extra 30 days paid leave, or there was some monetary bonus, and I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a ton of money. It's like a few $1,000, a couple thousand, which at that time was a lot, because I was just a kid too. So I think I took the money, and then they just put it like an added bonus in your monthly paychecks. And they break it down. They don't give it to you all at once. They never do that. You're missing these chat, dummy.
Fathom said I got to go to Japan, Korea, Ireland, Germany, Kuwait, and Afghanistan. When I was stateside, I was in Virginia, Kentucky, and Colorado.
Okay. I went all over the place, like country-wise. I don't even remember all the countries I went to. A bunch. Been to Kenya. Let me think if I can remember them all. So Kenya, Singapore, obviously Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong when Hong Kong was still a British colony. I said Korea, Australia, I said Singapore. Where the hell else I go? I know I've been other places. The Philippines. Shit, we used to go to Philippines. Was like another home port. We used to go there all the time. Thailand, I've been there a bunch of times. Thailand was definitely an adventure. I had a lot of fun in Thailand. I had a lot of fun in the Philippines too. Those two places for a young, unattached man, because I was in the military from 17 to 21 years old. It's just like a candy shop. I'll just leave it at that. What did you say?
Just talking about
Richard did in the Philippines. Yeah. We used to go to the Philippines all the time. And plus I got temporary, I I requested a school that was being taught on the base in the Philippines, and so I got temporarily dispatched to attend it was a valve and pump repair school. So I went to Subic Naval Base for like 2 weeks to attend the school, but the school was so easy. It wasn't hard. Like academically, it wasn't hard. It's, I was already doing a lot of the stuff prior, but I wanted to take the school. The only reason I applied for the schooling was because it was 2 weeks in the Philippines. That's the only reason. I didn't give a shit about the school, but we used to have to go to class, go to school from like 7 a.m. and we would knock off like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we were done for the day. That was it. So we'd go back to the barracks, change into our civvies, and hit the town until about 5 o'clock in the morning, and go back to the barracks, take a quick shower, brush your teeth, throw on your uniform, and go to school all hungover, and then just repeat the process. Maybe take a nap now and then. So, yeah.
Fathom asks, any of you guys get any kind of state license for aquaculture or wild animal permits?
No, for what we do, I don't need any special licensing. For collecting fish, for most states, you basically just have to follow the state's fish and game laws and get whatever state you reside in's fishing license. And then there's certain fish that you can and can't collect. So each state's different. But for what I do, I don't have to have any special licensing.
I wonder if that guy with the truck's going to pick up his cargo, because it looked like his dock thing is like freshly like greased up.
But they keep those things greased pretty good.
No, but I mean, it looked like fresh. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, probably might have just got it at the repair shop.
TD says, I had a Marine friend that loved to dock at Philippines, but he said he was glad when they had to board again. Broke, worn out, and starving.
Yeah, we used to drop a lot of money there, but like the local town outside of the base, that's how they survived. So I was on an aircraft carrier, so when we would be out to sea, we were out to sea for a while before we would hit Liberty ports. So you got a chance, even though we didn't get paid a lot of money, or I didn't, just because I was E2 to E4. I only got out as an E4. I passed but not advanced my E5 test like 2 or 3 times, but I never studied for it. And the Navy does it different than the Marines and the Army. But anyways, so even though I didn't get paid a lot, you didn't have nowhere to spend your money, so you'd have a pretty fat bankroll when you'd hit the beach, and that was all party money. I spent a lot of money on beer and other when I was in the Navy, like a lot of money.
Fathom says, I was looking at my state's laws and I need some permit to be able to sell fish.
I don't think so. Not tropical fish. If you're doing like game fish, yeah. So if I was in the business in New York and I was selling largemouth bass, any type of trout, anything like that, yeah, there's regulations on that for game fish. But for tropical fish, so all your guppies, swordtails, angelfish, whatnot, no. You gotta have you can even do it as a hobbyist, but no one's gonna deal with you wholesale wise if you're not legit. But in the state of New York, you don't have to even have technically it's not a business license. You get a DBA. So you go get registered as a DBA, which is doing business as. and that's a one-time fee in the state of New York. Every state's different though, so I can't tell you what every state, but I can tell you what New York requires. New York, in order to be a business, you got to register as a DBA, and then you get your your federal tax ID. And once you have that, then that's your foundation for whatever business you're starting. And then you got to bust ass and you know, it's not easy getting connections in the business, and actually in any business. It don't matter if it's in tropical fish or if you're, you know, selling flowers at a florist shop. You got to start networking and whatnot. You're not going to get a wholesaler to do business with you right away. I highly doubt it. You get some of these knuckleheads that are overseas, but then you need to learn how to vet some of these sources, because you'll get screwed over a lot of times. There's a lot of these people you see on social media, on Facebook a lot, that say that they're wholesalers in Indonesia or Thailand or Malaysia or whatever, and they take your money, even Africa too. They'll take your money and you ain't got no recourse.
Fathom says, when I was in Korea, we had to scan our ID when we bought alcohol. We had like a week limit.
Oh no, that was you was in after me then. We didn't have no limit on nothing. So, and that might have been on base. But yeah, you go to the hooch out in town, there ain't no limit. But yeah, we didn't have all that. We didn't even have it on the base club in Japan. As long as you were active duty, like I said, I was 17 when I joined. By the time I got to Japan, I was 18. So, but active duty, there was no drinking age as long as you were active duty overseas. Now, what sucked is when I was active duty, but I was still stateside before I got overseas, it was still drinking age was 21, so I couldn't drink at the base club, which was stupid, but whatever.
Fathom says, I specialize in certain African fish, and I get PMs from guys in Nigeria and stuff like that all the time. It's almost all scams.
Oh yeah, I got a really good friend of mine that actually just fucking gave up the business. My friend Trevor, he ran a business for several years called The Wonder of Cichlids, and he took it in the shorts bad. And the guy had a good reputation at one time, but my buddy Trevor, and it was an order like for, I think it was over $7,000, and he took it in the shorts and pretty much ruined his. It didn't ruin him, but it ruined his outlook on the business, and he shut it down. And he had a nice, well-run, home-based business with an excellent reputation, and the dude in Africa like totally boned him, and so he got pissed off, fed up, got rid of all his tanks. I think he has one tank only with some Frontosia in it now. That's like just his tank. He's totally out of the business.
Fathom said, you guys not having the limit on alcohol is the reason we did.
Oh yeah,
Ruined it
probably.
for us. And then Didi said, gotta go for a bit, drive safe.
Okay, Didi, peace. We're Navy too. Navy ain't no joke, man. Sailors ain't no joke when it comes to partying. I could tell you straight up. I never really partied with anybody from the Army, but I partied with several jarheads, and the jarheads couldn't hang. They couldn't hang overall. Never. They thought they could, but they couldn't.
said, man, that blows. Scammers suck, man. Why can't people just be normal?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a few contacts from overseas, not for fish though, but I have a few contacts for a few other items that I sell, and I've been hosed. It wasn't a lot of money, but I've been scammed before for like $200 and another time for $100, and it pisses me off. But so when I get a source now, I mean I hold that source tight just because it's business, and I let my sources know. I was like, listen, you only fucked me once, so you're just fucking yourself. I was like, if you want to have a good business relationship, you don't screw each other. I know, and on the total opposite of that, exporters I know that's been screwed by buyers on this side. So Americans have screwed them over, claiming DOA when stuff wasn't DOA, and then they're selling it. I can give you a couple names of some people that have done that and have like a shitty reputation because of it, obviously. But they imported like over $1,000 worth of fish and shrimp and stuff wholesale, which is quite a bit of livestock, and claimed 80 or 90% of it was DOA, but then turn around and are friggin' selling it. That's some fucked up shit too. There's a lot of dirty motherfuckers in the business. I can tell you that. So when you get a good source, I'm just saying, hold it. That's your source. And don't bone each other, because the whole fish industry. This goes to any business, but reputation, your word, your reputation, especially in the fish business, is everything. Because you get a bad reputation, and everybody knows each other, and your name gets around 100%. If you're ever gonna buy anything from the online source, it's a good idea just to throw their name out on social media, and don't always take everybody's opinion, but most people are smart enough, and because you're always gonna have bad customers. You're gonna always have something that may get fucked up due to UPS or the post office or Southwest or whatever. Shit happens, but it's how you clean that shit up that keeps your reputation going. But it could be the customer's fault too. It definitely can. I've had customers try to bone me before. So
Alishan said West African shippers are extremely sketchy.
Oh yeah, they are.
Fathom said, I'm all about relationships and supporting good businesses like you guys.
Yeah. Like I said, your reputation is everything. Once you screw it up, you're done. Then all you are is you're picking up crumbs. I mean, there's a couple online retailers that I can give you names are that I wouldn't buy. I mean, if they had guppies or fucking whatever, if they had Frontosia 10 for $1, I wouldn't buy shit. So just because of who they are. There's one out in Southern California that's like really, really bad. There's one in Arizona that's really, really bad. Assuming I gotta stay on 75 South.
Yeah, but in 2.8 miles, we take exit 2 to take 24 west of Birmingham. To take what? 24 west of Birmingham.
Okay. So I gotta get over to the right?
Yeah, for exit 2. Can I get over?
Oh, yeah, you can go right now. Yeah, because I want to start getting over because traffic. Are we in Chattanooga now or not?
I think so.
I don't know where the hell I'm at. But probably right around Chattanooga and north of it.
Yeah, we're pretty much in Chattanooga, but about a little bit north of it. That's just what I wanted to check. Alshon said same thing happened with Anthony. Got screwed for a lot of money for a tank shipment that did not show up. Fathom said some bickers, the one fish, the dinosaur fish, go for thousands, and I get some PMs from random guys at a no-name company saying they catch and fish everything themselves for half the cost, and they just run with your money.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Alshon said my LFS has gets C. Fathom said there's so many scammers that I just ignore all of them. Sucks for the legitimate businesses, but I can't trust any overseas businesses anymore if they aren't vetted because there are so many scammers.
I do. I sell a lot of plants, and I get a lot of people trying to sell me plants from overseas. I don't deal. It's a lot of things like Bucephalandria. You get a lot of those. I get a lot of people. I actually don't know. From Malaysia, Indonesia. They're selling that stuff cheap, but they're not growing it or collecting it sustainably. They're just actually just raping the land, which I won't even deal with that stuff. I won't. I got to get over to right to Lincoln. We're good.
Because otherwise we're going to Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Atlanta.
I think that's why the traffic's like it's starting to pick up. It's going to be getting closer to Atlanta. That car right there is just plumbing, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. This guy getting over, or is he just staying there? You getting over? He's getting over. Use your blinker after you're in the lane, motherfucker. Oh my God.
For 0.5 miles, Winter John's at 24 West. So you're in the right lane.
I'm in the correct lane.
I believe so, yes.
This doesn't look nice here. Oh, this motherfucker. Hold on. I got a fucking cop behind me. Traffic got like really fucking congested just right now.
For 5.3 miles, stay on 24 West of Birmingham. Alshon said my friend's store gets decent Westies from Alicon Fishes. I said the info to Dan since he is frustrated by lousy Congo shippers. Excuse me. Fathom said you don't want to go to Atlanta. I'm there now and it sucks.
Oh yeah, no, we're not going to Atlanta.
And then Fathom also said, yeah, the Congo shippers have like a very bad rep in all the big here forums. There's like one good one and 50 bad ones.
Yeah, I'm not even interested in like importing fish, like at all. Mike, my buddy Mike, but he does stuff from Indonesia and I think Thailand, but he's doing guppies and some other stuff. Yeah, but from importing fish from overseas, I have no interest in it. I know I pay more, but I just go to me personally, if I wanna get fish wholesale, and I know I pay more, but then I don't have to deal with with the overseas importers. I just buy them from stateside to wholesale, which is it's more money, but I don't give a shit. Less headache from even getting them from the farms down in Florida. And a lot of the Florida farms, they just import too, and then they're just a housing facility. There's not a lot of fish farms stateside anymore that actually do a lot of their own breeding. There's some, but not like they used to be. There's just it's much cheaper on them just to import them and then just flip them. That's all Seagrass does. Seagrass they'll breed some, but they're just a flipper. It's high as fucking mountain up there. Ain't it? Yeah. There's shit on top of it too. Like houses. Looks like there's houses up on top of that ridge.
Probably is.
Oh, there is. You can see it.
Oh, there is.
Can I get over? I can get over, right? You can get over. That's Chattanooga down there in the hole?
I believe so. It looks big enough to be Chattanooga.
Chattanooga's pretty big, I think.
So that's probably Chattanooga.
Yeah. You guys wave to Ed as we drive through Chattanooga. I see a Crystal Burger. You guys need help going to the bathroom, go to Crystal Burgers.
I sent the picture that you used for the thumbnail to my group chat and said me and my dad when we entered Tennessee. And they go fags.
Yep. Traffic's just jammed up. What well, I ain't changing lanes because I gotta go to the left. What's that?
The Nano. Oh, hold on. Jake, you could pronounce Bisher like Bisher or Bisher. I hear you struggling with the name. I got your back, bro. Bisher. Okay. Nano Aquarium guy says hello, everyone.
What up, Nano?
Fathom says I've been on that road you're on hundreds of times. That's Lookout Mountain to your left. I used to drive on that road every weekend to visit my family when I was at Fort Campbell.
Okay. Yeah, that's a friggin' high ass ridge. Oh my goodness. We in another traffic jam. But it's not showing in the red, it's just showing in the yellow. So it says we stuck here. I got 1.2 miles. I gotta get on Interstate 24 towards Birmingham. How far we are to the? How close are we to the state line?
I think we're like just right on it. I don't know directly how much. Fathom says there's big mansions on that mountain, and in about 5 minutes you'll see a river on your right, and there's a huge mansion across the other side.
Okay. We're good on where we're at. Except I'm in the truck lane, but fuck it. Fudge it. I know. Freaking hot. You hot?
Yeah, a little bit.
I can't get over it. Get over it now.
Looks like it. Birmingham exit is on the left, I think. You're right next to the Chattanooga Aquarium, my favorite aquarium.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm all the way in the left lane right now, so I'm good. I know the traffic's kind of boogered up, though.
Rico said Ed has season tickets to the Chattanooga Aquarium too. He always speaks highly of it. Rico said.
Cool. If I had time to stop, I'd do it. We actually could make time, but I want to get to my final destination at a decent hour. We still got 400 miles to go, 408 miles to go. So if we don't stop, according to the GPS, it's 5 hours and 45 minutes. So still a pretty good amount of driving to do. We did, Rico. We stopped at a Buc-ee's. That was pretty fun. So, well, not so much fun. Interesting. That was interesting.
Fathom said, I got season tickets to the Georgia Aquarium, but they have way less freshwater.
The only like big aquariums I've been to Monterey Bay Aquarium, but that was like forever ago. I used to be able to go all over the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I was pretty young, but I used to get around everywhere. I had a friend that volunteered there. And then I've been to the New England Aquarium, which I think is very overrated. I don't know. A lot of people said it's great. I thought it was very overrated. And then there is an aquarium in Niagara Falls on the U.S. side that I took the kids there, my wife and kids there, just to kill some time one time when we were out in that area for the Chicken Wing Fest. We made like a 3-day trip, and we went up to Niagara and went to the aquarium up there, and that wasn't very good. It was really small. And then they opened this, they call it Via Port Aquarium in an old rundown mall in Rotterdam, New York, which is close by me, Rico. That is, if you get in there free, it's good if it's free. If you don't have a contact and you actually have to pay, I think they charge $20 or $25 an adult to get in there. You'll be extremely disappointed if you got to pay. But I had a customer of mine that comped me some passes to get in there. She worked there. She don't live in the area anymore. She moved out of the area, but she comped me and my family some passes, and we got in there, so I didn't have to pay for it. But if I would have had to pay, I would have been very disappointed because we was in and out of there, and I bet you, no lie, less than 15 minutes.
The back of that guy's truck says meat eater.
Yeah.
Fathom said I went to my first Buc-ee's last month. It was insane.
Yes, Buc-ee's is crazy.
Rico said, LOL, Ed will be super jealous. I think Buc-ee's is his favorite place in the world.
I liked it, but it's crazy. To me, it's crazy that it's a giant Walmart gas station convenience store. So it's pretty wild. It's interesting. It really was. I didn't get any of the food there. We bought Elijah. Elijah wanted a Buc-ee's hat, so he got a hat. We bought a hat there, so he could sport his Buc-ee's hat to school. And I bought him a bottle of Buc-ee's barbecue sauce because Elijah's a barbecue sauce connoisseur, but he likes cheap ass sweet barbecue sauce. So this looked like it fit the bill. So.
Fathom said like 200 gas pumps. When I go to Dallas and Daytona next year for the 2024 Aquashellas, I'm going to try visiting the aquariums in those states.
Yeah, Dallas, I think, has an aquarium. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to a lot. I don't think any of them can top Monterey Bay Aquarium, like overall. I really don't. Back a million years ago when I was there, it was very impressive, and I know they've done changes just to improve it over the years. So it's pretty wild. And even I watched some like YouTube footage on it, now, and to me it's impressive. It's really impressive.
Buc-ee's has the best bathrooms.
Oh yeah, I know. I christened one. Yeah, very clean. Not a sketchy place to sit down. I'll leave it at that.
Fathom said asked, do they have a big freshwater selection?
Monterey Bay Aquarium? No, it's pretty much, from what I remember, it's been a long time. It's all pretty much salt, and it's mainly stuff endemic to Monterey Bay. So, and it sits right on the bay. It's right in Monterey. So they pump the seawater in right there, so they're not mixing stuff. I'm sure that's what New England Aquarium does too, since it sits right on the water. But I wasn't real impressed with the one in Boston. I mean, it was nice. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool thing to see, but would I buy season passes to the one in Boston? No, I wouldn't. To me, it's kind of like a one-time deal. Maybe if you get some family that are out of town and they want to go to Boston, you can take them there. But to repeatedly go back, the one in Boston, to me, is overrated. But the one in Monterey, I could go hang out there all the time. From what I remember, like I said, it's been a long time since them days. Last time I was in California was 1991. So, been a while.
Fathom said, like, I have the GA aquarium by me, and I think it's the biggest in the country, but I'm just not into saltwater side as much, so it doesn't have that much appeal to me. That's why the Chattanooga aquarium is so nice to me. It's a freshwater selection.
I got you. No, I love saltwater. I mean, I'm I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to scuba dive all the time, and I used to teach scuba diving, and it was all saltwater. So I was in saltwater in the ocean or the Gulf for all my diving experience. So I see saltwater up close. So that's why I keep fresh on the aquarium side. I never really got into saltwater aquariums. I do like to fish. I'm just not into so much the upkeep of a saltwater aquarium. So I don't really fool around. I'll look at your fish. People want to get into salt, and you got a saltwater tank. I'll enjoy the saltwater hobby through somebody else's tank. That's the way I look at it. But like I said, I used to scuba dive all the time. I used to teach scuba diving, and I was in the saltwater all the time. I hardly did any freshwater diving. But I plan on doing some more, not so much diving, but like this summer coming up, if I can get time to some of the local creeks and try to get some footage of some like micro species, like just like snorkeling, laying in the water, shallow water, the mask and snorkel on my GoPro, and trying to get some footage up close of some endemic native species. That's what I want to do. I was going to do it last year, and I never got around to going. But I do got to get me a wetsuit. I have a wetsuit, but it ain't going to fit my fat ass no more. I got to get a new wetsuit.
Fathom said, I appreciate the saltwater side, and I have one salt tank. I'm just into freshwater fishing.
Yeah, on the hobby side, on the aquarium side, I'm 100% with you.
It's easier to take care of freshwater.
Yeah.
Aquarium side.
I like freshwater. I like plants. Saltwater, you're not really growing plants. You do corals. But I'm really not into. I mean, I like corals and they're pretty. But I'm not like huge into like reef tanks. It's not my gig. I like to fish. But corals are nice, but they don't do a lot for me. So, but plants, I love plants on the freshwater sides.
Rico said, I have the same issue with my dry suit for paddling. No way it will fit me anymore, but I can't paddle anymore anyway.
Yeah, I need to. I mean, I don't even know what size it. I mean, I'm not a tall guy, Rico. You know that. I'm a short ass, but I kind of grew outwards, so in the belly. So yeah, my wetsuit was probably an adult, like they size them small, medium, large. It was probably an adult medium. It's at my nephew's house. I might try it on while I'm down there, and maybe that'd be funny as hell.
You should see if you could fit into it.
Yeah, I'll let Jake videotape it to see if my fat ass can get in it. That might be a funny YouTube short, but yeah, I don't think I could fit in it.
My prediction is it'll just get to your waist and you'll be like, oh.
Yeah, I get my legs in the bottom, and it's not gonna come over to the basketball in my gut. So
I could probably fit into it, honestly.
Yeah, you could fit. I used to have before I stopped using it, it's a nice O'Neill 7mm wetsuit. And then I had a 3mm too. And then I just have like a dive skin when it was warmer, because I used to do a bunch of diving in the Gulf of Mexico down here where I'm going. And then depending on the time, and I used to scuba dive all year long. So depending on what time of year it was, depending on what suit I used. So I had a skin, Then I had a shorty. Sometimes I'd wear the skin with the shorty. And then I had 3mm suit when it started getting a little bit cooler. And then in the wintertime, I'd wear my 7mm suit. Kept me nice and warm. You always get cold when you first get in the water, but then you pee yourself. So you get in, open your suit up a little bit, get a little water in there, it's cold as heck, and then you piss on yourself. You can't do that in the dry suit. So if you were paddling in a dry suit, that gets kind of nasty. But in a wetsuit, that's like an instant heater, and then it just flushes out. So if people think that's gross, then you never wore a wetsuit before in cold water, because it's common practice.
Fathom said nobody wants to see my ass in a wetsuit. That's for the OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
And then Rico says, I hear ya. I'm probably 75 pounds heavier than I was when I paddled all the time.
Oh, I'm Rico. When I moved to New York, I was a $145. Now I weigh. The last time I was at the doctor, I think I weighed 208. So I'm not tall. You know that. I'm only 5'4". So being 200 pounds at 5'4", I'm definitely a fat ass. So. Yeah, when I first moved to New York, I wasn't like skinny, but I was 145 pounds. I wore size 30 jeans, so I had 30-inch waist Levi's. Now 34s are super tight, but I'm not buying a 36. Ain't no way I'm buying a 36. I just suck in the gut and squeeze into my 34s, or I buy that stretch denim. So that's what I got on now. I got some jeans that's some stretch denim. That's the coolest invention in the world. Stretchable denim. Yeah. Stretchable denim is like the best invention next to sliced bread, I say. What do you say?
Oh, it said, you don't know me, LOL. I'll make that dry suit wet.
Yeah. I know. I've never dove with a dry suit, and then what's funny is that was like a specialty course, but I'm a PADI open water scuba instructor, but I never dove with a dry suit, but PADI, which stands for Professional Association of Diving Instructors, they had a specialty course on dry suit diving because you there's tricks to using one for scuba diving, and but yeah, no, a couple friend of mine in the wintertime, they use dry suits and they swore by them, they loved them, but they peed themselves in there, and they were like, I don't give a flip, it's my pee. And then when we would get done with the diving, we'd get back to the dock or back to the shop and the water hose, and they would just flush it out. But yeah, I always just used wetsuit.
Rico says, I wear PJ pants all winter long, even out to the store.
I hear ya.
In
I hear ya.
2 miles, you're gonna keep it left.
I tell you what sucks when you start to get old and fat is tying your friggin' shoes. That's why I love when it's warm, because I wear flip-flops. Ain't gotta tie shit. You ain't even gotta bend over to put them on. Yeah.
That's what day you're gonna have to take 167 South.
Okay.
To Birmingham.
To Birmingham, Alabama.
Mountain Green. Oh, phone needs to cool down.
Uh-oh.
It's getting hot.
What is it?
It's not even loading. You got no connection and the phone was heating.
I gotta take a left exit.
Yeah, you can take a left exit.
3
miles. Well, you better speed up and get over it. Traffic doesn't get better.
I ain't got no bars. That chat's jumping.
It's because the live's still up. You're just not connecting. That can
Oh.
happen. You're not.
I wonder if they can
there.
still hear me. Can you guys hear me? I know we lost the video feed.
Yeah, we hear. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. The video feed dropped, but I don't know what Rico said.
So, I thought Rico was doing this all year. Hi, Jay. We're both together. Where'd Rico?
Refresh it. Hit the refresh. See if it comes back. Okay, it's back. We had some technical difficulties. So, we'll see. We might lose it because it said my phone was getting hot. I don't know. Stupid iPhone. It sits up in the window too where I got it sitting, obviously, and so it's getting sun on it. But then when you stream, the device gets warm. So then it overheats and then it quits. Well, we're back for now, but if we go dead again, then we might just wrap this up, but we'll go until it dies. We'll see. We'll see if it gets any more better. We just got on Interstate 59 heading south towards Birmingham, so I don't know how far we are from the state line.
I've never seen that. I've never seen a minimum speed limit.
Oh, I have. It's for safety reasons. Especially like at nighttime, you come flying up on a car going super slow, rear end them. That's kind of out of place down here in New England.
You see Tom Brady
What did I say?
talking to each other.
Yeah. We still 5 hours and 27 minutes out if we don't stop. Shit, this is... We're gonna be on this interstate for a while. According to the gyps. What did Dano say?
What's the speed limit? It's 70.
Speed limit right here. Yeah, what Jake said. 70. What time is it? 10:54.
Yep. 10:51.
Did we cross into Central Time Zone yet?
No, I don't think so yet.
Sure. I don't even know what time zone I'm in. I don't know if I'm still in Eastern or Central. I can't tell. I'm assuming my iPhone will switch automatically.
It will.
blacktop on this highway is pretty shitty.
It is.
It's not full of potholes though, but that's not. You don't get as many potholes, down south as you do up north, just because of the winter conditions. But I'm sure where I'm at right now, they get snow. I'm pretty sure they do. Maybe not as much as we get sometimes up north. That's a cool looking place.
Oh, yeah.
I'm yawning more now than I did yesterday.
That's
You want to try crystals?
I can't. Okay. They probably got some of this.
Huh?
They probably got a bunch of stuff on the menu.
I think they have like these little crappy chicken sliders too. I don't know. They don't have like a huge menu. They didn't used to. You can get sliders, or you can get Crystal Burger with cheese. I think they had like little chicken sliders and fries. Give me my veggie. I got any of those veggie.
Yeah, you still got those. I don't need them.
Veggie.
Cut off.
Garden veggie straws screaming hot. You gotta try these, Rico, if you're still here.
I just wonder why they taste so much.
They're not hot though. They taste good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
You hear me munching? I'm eating chips. There ain't shit on this road. Pretty desolate. Rico say.
Sorry, what type of chips are they?
Oh, I found these at a 7-Eleven in Virginia. What's that brand? The top? I can't read.
Sensible Portions.
Sensible Portions garden veggie straws, screaming hot. They're actually pretty good. I just went into a 7-Eleven in Virginia to get a cup of coffee, and while I was standing there waiting to pay, I seen them at the counter, and I was like, anything that says screaming hot, I gotta try it. So I grabbed a bag, but they're not hot. They got like a little spice to it, but nothing more to me than like black pepper. But pretty tasty, I will say. What's that?
Oh yeah, I've had some of those, but not the screaming hot ones.
I never seen them before, so I've seen them at the counter at the store. Gotta try it. When I went to Buc-ee's, I got some ranch flavored corn chips too. Those are good too. So I got some Buc-ee's corn chips, but they're ranch flavored. They had jalapeno ones too, but I wanted to try the ranch. Rico, get Ed to send you a Buc-ee's package, Buc-ee's care package. What was cool about Buc-ee's is you can get like smoked brisket right there in the store too. You get like a brisket sandwich. They got brisket burritos. They had like a whole full case of like these big pieces of jerky, like all different types of jerky. They're big ass pieces too. I don't know if they make it right. I doubt they make that at the location. They probably make it somewhere else. But they had a big old display case of all different types of jerky. Pretty cool. It's $30 a pound, but like, you probably get a decent amount of meat, jerky at $30. Because when you dehydrate it, you lose a lot of the weight, so you don't have that water weight. So who knows? But yeah, I didn't buy any. It was $29.99 per pound. Then you can mix and match like different types. What he said? Nothing. Oh. Jake gets annoyed at me.
Yeah, because he keeps telling me to look at chat. They said
Yeah,
something.
read the chat. I can't see it.
Like I check it every
But he's like playing.
every 10 seconds. I check it.
He's
He
over
wants me
here.
to check it every 5 seconds. Like,
He's
oh,
over
sorry.
He's over here playing with his yo-yo. He got a job to do.
Oh.
He's like slacking on his job.
This guy's got jokes.
He's a yo-yo player. Playing with his yo-yo.
Yeah, we can go to Bristol if you want.
Let's see. I want to see if there's another Buc-ee's. Yeah.
You want to try their food?
Yeah, maybe I grab a sandwich.
There should be one. There was like a million signs.
Yeah, instead of stopping somewhere, Rico, we might hold out for another Buc-ee's, but let's see if there's one on the route. You could Google it search it on your phone.
True.
They need to have a Buc-ee's app, so when you're traveling around south, you can find the nearest Buc-ee's. They probably do. I bet you they do have a Buc-ee's app. We got an app for everything. There's one in Birmingham. We'll be driving around.
If we stay on 59,
we're gonna be on 59 for 100 miles.
about 8 miles past what we have to do.
Okay.
It's pretty much in Birmingham, so
Like in the city.
well, it's in Leeds, Alabama.
Okay. how far we are. How far are we from Birmingham?
From Birmingham, we're
A little over an hour.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
like an hour 30.
I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, you didn't have breakfast. You just had chips.
Yeah.
Coffee.
That thing quit.
Yes, temperature. My phone needs to cool down.
Hey guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I might go live later, but the phone's getting too hot, so I don't know if you can hear me.